Hey folks, it's Anya and Victor with Carambadas.
Hi, welcome back.
We have a special guest with us tonight. We have Adriana Rosales. How you doing, Adriana?
I'm good. Thank you for the invitation. And you guys are doing great. I don't know why you're so nervous. You're sweating. Yeah, he was like, turn the fan on.
Dreaming in Spanglish with Adriana. Take one.
This is the first time I'm getting interviewed.
No way.
Yeah, I'm always the one asking questions.
All right. Ready? 1, 2. Did you subscribe yet? You need to.
I haven't. I've been watching the videos and I haven't subscribed. Oh my god. Subscribe.
Yay.
Thank you.
Check your email and confirm. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm under pressure. The cameras are on me. I've known you guys since like, what, 2, 3 years?
Forever. It's been 2 years.
Yeah. Since, you know, childhood friends.
It feels that way.
It feels that way. Yeah, so we known each other for like 2 years. So been working with Carambadas. I met you first, then I met Anya. Mm-hmm. And so it's been great getting to know you.
Yeah, we met each other volunteering. We were planning the first ever Salvadoran festival in Richmond. Mm-hmm. And we got to bump into Adriana, who was the MC the first and second year. Yeah. And it's been a good friendship ever since, and we hope to establish good relationship moving forward, so that we can become millionaires together.
Of course, yeah. Which is funny is when I heard about you, and I saw you, I was like, he's not Salvadorian. He's not Salvadorian, and then
he gets that a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was volunteering with Coco Sal, the straight up Salvadoran nonprofit. And they made me do a DNA sample, so I turned it in within the first couple of weeks, and I showed them my Dewey, and they're like, "Okay, he's legit. He's legit." Yeah. I think they did an ancestry background investigation on me too. I passed, and they let me stick around for a while. Yeah. So good. So tell us, what are you up to nowadays? She was doing MCing. She was a morning show jockey in the local Latino radio station. And she picked up another gig, and now we're all left listening to a white noise. White noise. What have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot of things. After changing jobs with the radio, like I worked for the county, for Chesterfield County. I was a creative content writer for the library, so I was in charge of writing everything that you see out there. The blog, social media, and then I was translating stuff too for them. Because I was the only one who spoke Spanish in the library, so I was translating. And after that, the opportunity to work for the city came up. So now I'm with the city of Richmond.
Well, that's great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, you've been there since when? Since April, you said? Or
October.
October. Oh, you just started?
I just started, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well,
yeah,
congratulations.
It's October, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me? Honestly, I want to do my own thing. I love doing radio. So I discovered that was my passion, what I really love doing. So I want to do my podcast, my own podcast. And, invite people like you guys and get to know you better. And I want this concept of having like a safe space. Like, you tell me your story, I want to know about Anya. Like, how did you grow up? Like, what are your plans for the future? Kind of like similar to what you guys are doing.
Awesome.
So today's theme is dreaming in Spanglish. What does dreaming in Spanglish mean to you, Adriana?
When I heard it the first time, I was like, dreaming in Spanglish? Do I dream in Spanish or English? It got me thinking.
Makes you wonder.
Like, do I don't even know. But but then when you explain it, I was like, oh, it makes sense. It's not about dreaming when you're sleeping. It's about the dreams you have in life.
It could be literal, or it could be, what are your aspirations? What do you want to do? And how do you do that without neglecting who you are?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because I came when I was 15. I was 15 when I came to the United States. But it was rough because, I didn't know English. I took ESL classes in high school, and that's how I learned. And so, it was a very diverse high school. So I had friends from different countries, and, so when I went to college, that's when it was a culture shock. And it was kind of like those times when you're like, oh, like, should I start dressing like them so I can fit in, or should I dye my hair? And I didn't have anyone to speak Spanish with. Well, I had my roommate, she's from Guatemala, And she, we used to speak Spanish among us, but it was mostly English. So it's kind of like you start like neglecting that part of you, especially the food, the culture. Mm-hmm. So I think what helped me was realizing that, like, who I am, I'm a Latina, and I should be proud of it. So we started a Hispanic Heritage Club.
Awesome.
Because we finally had like a decent amount of Hispanics at the school, so we started a Hispanic Heritage Club, and that's when I started realizing that people are also interested in your culture. Like they want to know the food, they want to know about the music, they want to know about art, like all the stuff. So that's when I started feeling prouder. I was like, oh, people are all, like they also like this, and this is what makes me different. And I'm like, I haven't asked before when I was in high school. Kids are mean. And yeah, they're mean. And especially the people who are Hispanics, who are Latinos, make fun of the other kids who have an accent. And so I would be my first year in high school, I was so quiet. People thought I didn't speak because, I was scared. And then the next year I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do it. So I started speaking English. That's when I started like, oh, I want to also work with the Latino community because I want to give back what they're giving to me.
I love that, Adriana. It's funny you bring up a point about how we are the ones picking on ourselves the most. Mm-hmm. I in my experience, the more laughing at me that I've experienced wasn't from the American. Yeah. It was usually one of my peers, another fellow paisano, somebody else from a different country that's not from here. They're the ones who are insecure looking at me and thinking, let's pick on this guy. So. Yeah. So I feel like we hold each other back sometimes. We do. And I had the chance, now with the job that I have, I went to a panel at a high school here in Richmond. And it was only ESL students. Mm-hmm. So one of the girls was asking how can she learn English and all the stuff. And her questions were more direct to me because I talk about my story and everything. So she was asking and she was like, because I said that, I was like, like sometimes the kids that you have classes with from the same country as you are the ones who are making fun of you, because there was this dilemma when I was in high school. I had my ESL group of friends, and when I started hanging out with people who only spoke English, who were also Latinos but only spoke English, because I wanted to learn the language, this group of friends decided like, oh, like, se cree mucho, and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like they also are making fun of you because you want to learn the language, you want to be part of the community. But, then the other ones are making fun of you because you have an accent. So it's kind of like, you're in between of all that. So at this panel and this girl asking all these questions, I started realizing like, I wasn't the only one going through it. Mm-hmm. Like, the kids are still going through it at school. Like, kids make fun of them and then they actually want to learn. And sometimes other kids, they're like, oh yeah, they're making fun of me. Like, I'm just going to stick around and stay with them. That's it. I can relate with you because you're busy trying to succeed, trying to show progress, trying to better yourself, and your own people are looking at you like, who the heck does he think he is?
Yeah. Like you said, we are the ones, the same people are the ones pulling us back, which shouldn't be that way. Other cultures, like, they support each other, and you can see that difference.
Yeah, so let's get along, folks. Let's agree to get along. So do you know what a Rosca de Reyes is?
Yes, but I never did it in El Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Salvadorian, by the way. Then here was when I started hearing about Rosca de Reyes and about the little Jesus there.
The little Jesus inside.
Yeah, and I always get it, so I'm scared.
You're afraid to choke in it? Or
no, because you have to make tamales.
You have to make tamales?
I don't know how to make tamales.
You don't want to have to throw the party either. I think you have to throw the party as well. Okay, so we're going to give her a shot. We're going to give her an opportunity to eat her rosca tonight. I know we just went through the other Reyes recently. Yeah. Anya tasked me to pick one up, and I couldn't find one because they were all sold out. There's a lot of demand in Richmond, apparently. Yeah. So I got creative. I just made my own, and I'll bust it out. And I made it myself. All right, here we go, everybody. This is my original Rosca de Reyes for our special day here.
There was a show that I used to watch when I was younger that it was like, let's make art like from anything that you have at your house. Yeah, whatever you find.
So just so you know, I don't keep. She doesn't let me keep Twinkies in the house, so we didn't have that. I had to go.
They're so bad for you.
I had to go pick them up myself. So let's see. The green one? We're gonna pick one of the green ones each. Mm-hmm. There's a baby Jesus in one of those. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna spin it around like a Russian roulette, and I'm gonna give Adriana the first choice.
It has to be a green one.
Yeah. it's baked on there really well. Honey?
I'm afraid.
Are these M&Ms or are these?
They're M&Ms. they're candy coated chocolate green. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's see.
I have to make tamales.
And how are you going to outsource that?
Oh, that'll be my version of tamales. They're probably this wrapped up in a cornhouse.
Taco Bell.
There's actually a video on TikTok how to make tamales on, I forget what it's called, but it's an easy way to do tamales. Like the new generation.
Is it like Chipotle instead or something?
I think so. I don't know.
So with the theme of Dreaming in Spanglish, we have a small gift for Adriana today.
Oh.
Here in my back pocket. We came up with a shirt idea for the website, and Victor's wearing one, and this one is for you.
Thank you. Oh my god, it's so nice.
We have two versions of it. I like both versions, so I know men are more simple. They don't want as much graphics. I mean, it depends on the guy really, but I think not that one is female.
You can bring it down and keep talking about it. You're like hiding behind the shirt, and I can put a picture of the shirt.
It's a commercial.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So speaking of dreaming in Spanglish, Adriana, you recently went through an experience where normally for us Hispanics, moving out of the house is a very, very big deal.
Yeah.
It's in my case, I didn't leave the house until I was about 59, 60, because we just live with our parents until we get married.
Yeah.
What? Tell us about your experience. What are you willing to share with us tonight about that?
My experience. It was rough. It was rough because I was telling Anya, backstage,
off the record,
that I was so used to like going to work, getting home, and the food was ready, and I was like, I go to work, I go to the gym, I get home, and I have to cook, and I have to cook for the next day. And the weekends, I have to do laundry, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's so many things that change. And I feel like the thing that affected me the most was the family feeling, because you will get home and my mom is there, or my sister is there, or my stepdad is there, and I will get home and there was no one in the house because everyone's working. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So it was rough the first month, but now I got used to it. Yeah. But in our culture, yeah, you move out. Actually, I was talking to my family the other day, and one of our aunts, well, I think she's my great aunt, something like that. And she was like, oh, how's your mom? And I'm like, oh, she's good. I saw her yesterday. And I just went to her house.
You saw her yesterday?
She's like, you saw her yesterday? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, ya te casaste. Did you get married? And I'm like, no.
I didn't get the invite.
I was like, no. I was like, no, I didn't get married, but I moved out. She's like, oh. And then my aunt was like, because over there it's like that, like it's not like here that you have to get married to move out. And I was like, yeah, I'm independent now.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us a comparison on how life was growing up in El Salvador versus coming here and growing up from your teenage years to now? Like a nice side-by-side comparison.
Yeah. It was different. I see how kids grow up here, and it's very different how I grew up. Like I see it in my sister. My sister is 16? Yeah, she's 16. And I see how different she grew up from what I lived. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was hard when I came here. I was 15. It was kind of an age when I was 15, so I was in 9th grade over there, about to go to bachillerato. So bachillerato is 2 years, and then you go to college. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be a doctor. Mm-hmm. Like, I wanted to be a pediatrician. So my goal was to be a pediatrician. So I had my friends. Some of them wanted to be dentists or whatever, doctors and all stuff. So we're we're going to go to school together. We're going to get a clinic together. And, like private clinic, and we're all gonna like offer, help to the people. And then I'm 15 and my mom was like, you have to come. Like, I got my residency. I remember January 3rd of 2014, and she was like, "I got you the ticket for March 6th, and you're coming."
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like that's when it got real to me, because they used to tell me, "Yeah, we're in the process, and we're gonna, bring you here." And then when they tell me, I went to the interview and everything, and that's when I was like, "Oh, this is getting real. This is not a joke."
At the American Embassy.
Yeah, this is not a joke. And when I went to the interview, I was able to see my file, and it said approved on the thing. And I was like, oh my God.
You were hoping for denial.
No, I was not hoping for denial, because I wanted to come here, because you see the movies and you want to come here, blah blah. But part of me didn't want to, because I grew up with my grandma and my aunts. My mom left when I was 5. She moved here when I was 5.
Wow.
So it was 10 years that I hadn't seen my mom. Wow. So it was rough. I was like, oh my God, I have to leave my grandma and then like come here with my mom, who I haven't seen in 10 years. So it was like part of me wanted to come, part of me wanted to stay. So 15, had my friends and everything, so I had to say goodbye. I had my quinceañera in November, and then you started school in January over there. So I didn't go to school. So I started like intense English classes for like 3 months. For like 3 months. And then I came here.
Spanglish classes.
Yeah, it was different. I thought I understood English, and then I came here, and I was like, what? They spoke to me, and I was like, what are you saying? But yeah, so I came here, and started high school, and that whole
You hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. So you got here when did you start school?
I got here on a Thursday, and they took me to get registered to school on the Friday, and they were like, you have to stay. I stayed in first school. Yeah, I didn't have anything. I didn't have a notebook. I didn't have a pen. Because my mom was like, "Oh, we're gonna register her like on Friday so she can go to school on Monday." No, they're like, "You have to stay."
Words in Spanglish. Okay, what are some good words in Spanglish? Did you grow up with anything that stands out in mind?
In Spanglish, there was one word which I thought was Spanish. And it's not. And I found out because I was taking AP Spanish in high school to earn credits for college. And we were talking about, Spanglish words, or like, I think they have, what's the name of like words in English that we transform in Spanish and we use them in Spanish. They have a name.
Okay.
But the thing is that we were talking about that, and I think we were translating some words. And parking, parqueo, right? My whole life, I thought parqueo was a Spanish word. And the teacher was like, it's not a word. But what's the word in Spanish? And I was like, parqueo. And she's like, no. And I'm like, but I grew up and it was parqueo. She said, no, es estacionamiento. And I was like, oh. I had no idea. They lied to me my whole life.
One of the words that I used growing up was, venga chequear esto. Chequeame aquello. And that's incorrect as well.
It's not. Yeah.
How do you say it in Spanish?
Chequea, revisa.
Revisa
esto.
Inspeccioneme esta babosada. Cora?
Cora. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, la cora. Yeah.
Una cora.
A quarter. Una cora. Yeah.
What other?
La troca.
Troca.
La truck.
Camioneta?
Troca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but now in Latin America, they're adopting a lot of words in English. Because I was talking to someone, and I was like, oh yeah, we call amigo secreto, which is Secret Santa for Christmas. And they're like, no, they call it like that over there too.
Secret Santa? Oh, not amigo secreto?
No, like now the new generation is adopting new words.
El selfie.
El crush. El crush. Do you know what crush is?
No.
El crush is someone that you like.
Oh, crush. I'm sorry. I heard crutch like in...
No, but over there they say crush.
Crush, okay. That's crazy.
Yeah. They're adopting a lot of words.
Do you have any words of encouragement for Latinos who are going through today what you went through a couple years back, trying to get adjusted to the culture?
I think don't listen to what everyone else says. Like, focus on you and take the positive, because you're gonna hear so many people tell you how to do things. They're gonna give you misinformation, and don't listen to them. Like, if you have the dream to be here and be someone and learn English and get a job, get a degree, whatever you want to do it. Like, don't listen to anyone else. It's just negativity. Don't listen to that. Just instead of that, like, listen to their podcast. You know, something positive. Like, seeing, I think what helped me was meeting other people who went through the same thing and they were successful already, or they had a degree. Because my goal was come here, go to school, get a degree, work on what I like, and meeting other people who did that, and that's what inspired me. So, and I'm like, and I can be that person now for younger people, because I feel like I went to an event in Chesterfield, and it was for high school students, and it was kind of like a full circle experience, because I was there one time, like sitting right there, listening to a speaker or someone telling the story, and now I'm telling my own story. So just follow those people, the good ones. There's still good people out there.
So now you're in a position where you're giving advice to the younger generation, telling them that they can pursue their dreams.
I feel old if you say it like that. If you say it like that, yeah. Yeah, no, but yeah, I feel like it's a full circle, because I have met people in ESL classes and all that, and I see them go through the same thing I was going. And I always say, like, I volunteer I get involved in groups that help other people, because I wish I had someone, and I didn't have anyone. So, you know, someone like around my age who like told me, hey, you can do it, you know, there's this way to do what you want to do. So I want to be that person for someone else.
How often do you think you'll be doing your podcast?
I want to do it like probably once a week, like one episode per week.
Nice.
If I have the time. Because I heard editing takes time.
Yeah, once you get to a certain point, you can start outsourcing that. It doesn't have to be you doing it.
Yeah. And I'm deciding between doing video or just audio, so probably start just with audio.
Hopefully you do video, so if you ever have us, people can see us. I hate to deny people that opportunity.
You know, it's funny because when you work on radio, sometimes usually you don't know the person. You just listen to the people. We used to have Facebook Live, so people will see who we were. But I remember when I was younger and I used to listen to radio, I imagined like this face, and then I see them in person. I was like, it is imagine. Oh, that was you. And I was always scared that people would do the same thing to me. I was like, oh, I listened to you every morning, but I didn't think you looked like that.
Oh, man.
One time they were interviewing me, but people were calling to ask me questions. First question was like, do you have a boyfriend?
I think I saw that episode.
And I had never said on air that I had a boyfriend.
Yeah,
that was the first time, and I was like, should I deny it? Should I not?
Yeah, is he listening?
I was like, is he listening?
He might watch this. So
he might watch this, so I might as well just say yes. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
I think that was as bad as it got, though. They didn't ask you anything more invasive, if I remember.
They asked me...
Because I turned it up. I'm like, okay, what else is next?
Yeah, no. I think they asked me where... they were like, oh, where do you live? And I was like, oh, you know, in Chesterfield. So who do you live with? And I was like, oh, one of my friends, because I live with one of my friends. And I said it was a guy. He's like, oh, is he only your friend? And I was like, yes. I was like, yes.
How many bedrooms are there? People.
I know.
Well, Adriana, thank you so much for stepping aside and coming to talk to us. It's been a great pleasure getting to talk to you again, seeing you again. Hopefully you can see us again in the near future. When are you coming back?
Anytime. Just tell me when, and I'll check my schedule.
All right. If the folks watching want to tune in and listen to your podcast, how do they find you?
Social media.
Find you on social media. Adriana Rosales.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Adriana Rosales, and Instagram, you can find me as Adri_underscore Adri_Rosales. But if you go on Facebook, you can click on the Instagram thingy and it takes you to my page.
So tune in, guys, and stay tuned. She's coming up with a podcast soon. We'll be tuning in as well. We'll probably be your first subscribers.
Thank you.
Thank you for subscribing to
Don't be like me. I've been watching their videos and I haven't subscribed.
On the day of our interview at your place.
Oh my God.
So if you like the content, please like and subscribe to our channel. Don't just be spectators from behind the scenes like some people we know. Hit that like button, subscribe, and come back and see us next week. Thanks again, Adriana.
Thank you, guys. And I wish you the best. So subscribe, please.
If you like our swag, if you like the shirt she's wearing, if you like this shirt.
Or if you like this one.
Log on to carambadas.com and order yours today. It'll be up by the time the video is up. These new shirts should be available.
Yeah.
So
prototype.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
So before we start, we usually start with a prayer. I'm kidding.
Sorry.
You're gonna see my face. You're gonna see my face.
Adriana's gonna lead it.
Okay. In Spanish or English?
Let's see.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Ceiling fan. I need a breeze. My hair. Más bonito que my hair is like
Your hair is
flowing.
flowing.
So
Yeah.